All right, friends, welcome back to Hobby Vomit. We are here today to do another board game campaign. I'm here with Ian. If you want to say hey,
Hey
Ian.
everybody. Hi everybody.
Awesome. Yeah, very excited. We are doing a Marvel Champions campaign. So if you'll see here, you might say, what? Fantastic Four? That's not in the game. And you're right. It's not in the game. We are doing a custom-made or a fan-made campaign, if you will. And yeah, it's all centered around the Fantastic Four. It's just as if you were to buy a Marvel Champions campaign box, but it's all fan-made by someone named Designhacker. So very grateful to him that he has uploaded this to TTS where we will be playing. And yeah, so basically we're just going to go through that campaign with the two heroes that we've selected, which are in fact not Fantastic Four members. But we've got Moon Knight, who Ian will be playing, and I will be playing Reader. So Moon Knight is actually a Designhacker design as well. And then Reader is one of my own designs that we're kind of just doing a little test. I made him a while ago, and he's back from the grave to see how he does. So yeah, Ian, do you want to tell the viewers kind of how the Moon Knight deck operates before we get into the campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. And so just a couple things out there. One of the things that we really wanted to do with this was to show off some custom fan-made content. There was an explosion of fan-made content over the last 4 years for Marvel Champs, especially during COVID. And there were even like community awards being given out in the Discord. Moon Knight and Fantastic Four campaign both received community awards. And so if you're someone who's really excited about Marvel Champs, we're hoping that by seeing custom content, that you may have that love reinvigorated. And if you're someone who, for example, loves Marvel Rivals, well, Fantastic Four is popping off right now on Marvel Rivals. And so you can even jump in and maybe grab some of the Fantastic Four characters and give a kind of a fresh take on this campaign. So you might see it with us and then play the Fantastic Four characters and kind of have a whole different experience. So we're kind of deciding who to play. I looked at different people. Since Matt's playing Reader, I considered playing Ghost Rider, so we could have Reader Rider. I considered playing Daredevil because Reader and Daredevil have an arc. But I wanted to try something I hadn't played before, and I didn't really like the look of those. And so I was like, let's look at a Designhacker character that I haven't played, and I have not played Moon Knight. And I really, really liked the look of this deck. It was a different take on Marvel Champs for me, and so I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen the show Moon Knight, that's okay. It's actually a pretty good show. But essentially, Moon Knight struggles with an identity crisis. And so, how this game is going to differ for me is that I don't have one hero, I have two. I don't have one alter ego, I have three. And so, this will be quite interesting. So, here's my main alter ego, Mark Spector. And essentially, the way this works is rather than having abilities, each of my identities, each of the 5 identities affects my deck. So, this primary alter ego actually gives me deck building rules. I am required to use all aspects in the game in my deck. Now, keep in mind that basic cards are not an aspect. I am still allowed to play them, but I'm just required to use all aspects. And I must use at least 4 cards of every aspect. So I could have 4 aggression, protection, leadership, and justice. And I'm also prohibited from including any card, whether aspect or basic, that costs 3 or more. So all my cards basically have to be cheap, and I do have to have a little smattering of everything. And there are other heroes in the game that kind of work this way. Funny enough, though, this was obviously designed a few years ago, so the Deadpool aspect wasn't in play. And so I talked to Designhacker about that, and so his recommendation was just to not play with the pool aspect. But you could, if you wanted to keep this as rules as written. But we decided not to do that because that aspect is kind of famous for being a bit game breaking. And so we want to just kind of focus on the campaign and the characters and not really include all of the meme metagame cards. So essentially what you're going to see, therefore, is you're going to see me play a lot of different aspects, and you're going to see a lot of form changes. That's kind of the key kicker of this deck, is consistently changing forms, because then what's going to happen with each of my other forms is they're all going to reduce the cost of a particular aspect. So it will be about me kind of changing forms to get the benefit of that ability. That's it.
Yeah, very cool. And I'm going to do my darndest to try and remember to alt on cards so they get blown up, especially for new cards that might be new. So all the scenario cards and then both of our heroes, like actual hero cards. I will do my best. So we are playing under the assumption that you know how Marvel Champions plays, and you are just interested in some custom content. So we're not going to teach you the rules of the game. Maybe the first couple of turns, or if we're viewing something that's unique to this hero, we'll kind of go over how that works. But I will try to remember to blow up every card that I can. So yeah, I am playing Reader, who is an Inhuman, and he's a blind man, and he has a dog named Fori, his little companion. And basically his whole superpower is that he has his Braille tablet, and up to 3 times a day he can basically do what is called a read. And from what I remember, he literally can just conjure anything, but he's got the limit of doing it 3 times a day. So kind of I think he's a pretty minimal character. I didn't even know. I'd only seen him in one arc, so is that Daredevil arc newer?
No, that's I think the end of the arc, or it might be slightly newer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because the whole Inhuman thing got shut down.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. My Marvel knowledge is. Wait, so in Marvel, Inhumans are gone?
Yeah,
it's like Black Bolt and Medusa.
They don't. Yeah, they're just like all becoming mutants, basically.
Oh, I see. So not just for Champions, in Marvel in general.
Yeah, just as far as I know, like humans are basically just like not being continued.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I am an Inhuman. So yeah, that's really how his deck it operates on this Braille tablet, which is going to store counters on it, or read counters, if you will, and a lot of his hero cards are going to interact with the counters on that card. They're going to use those counters to do things, and that's really his whole thing. He also has one unique thing about his deck is that Fori is a support card that can help take some damage for Reader. So he's not an ally that can thwart and attack. He's a support. That's it. That's really it. And we'll kind of go over the decks as we play them and everything. So without further ado, let's get into the campaign by Designhacker, the Fantastic Four campaign. So each video in this series is going to be going over one scenario. And we're playing the actual. We're not just going to play through the 5 scenarios in order. We're going to play through the actual campaign with the story, and maybe there are some campaign cards as well. So this video might be on the longer side of the 5 just because we're doing like the campaign setup and everything, but we'll see. So Ian is going to be reading the lore, and I will be fishing for cards to try and make it smooth, and I'm ready to jump in when you're ready to jump in.
Perfect. Now, Matt, did you mention who brought to us this amazing custom content of Reader?
I think I did.
Okay.
And so
so Matt was the one who put this together.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of fun because we were talking about wanting to do this, and he was like, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you playtest somebody so I can just get some more opinions before we do this?" And so he had me playtest this deck, and I was like, "Yeah, we should do it. We should absolutely do it. This will be so much fun." So I'm excited that we get to show off some really awesome content from Designhacker. We get to show off some of Matt's work, and yeah, so it's really cool. And then also shout out to Hitches, because this is Hitches mod.
Yeah.
Or at least based on Hitches mod. I believe we imported Designhacker stuff into Hitches mod, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. So everybody who plays on TTS knows this, but Hitch is an absolute legend.
Yep.
So,
and honestly, so is Designhacker. He's definitely the most like prolific, I would content creator for Marvel Champions. He's a machine. He pumps out an insane amount of content, and it's all quality. So if you, I've kind of fallen out of the custom, or just I've kind of fell out of the game for a bit in the custom content, but like he's one of those designers that you can just see his names on it, and you're like, all right, it's going to be good. And as you will see with Moon Knight and this campaign, I think he did a great job. So, yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
Okay. So, now, I believe Matt's played through this before. I have not played through this campaign before at all. So, and I've not played Moon Knight either, so this is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Fantastic Four campaign. I'm telling you, Alicia, it's all perfectly safe. Old Stretch says Super Skrull isn't any threat. Ben Grimm's voice was as gravelly as the stony skin that gave the thing his name. Reed Richards, Earth's greatest scientist, who oft earned the name Mr. Fantastic, nodded. 99.87 containment probability from outside threats. Alicia Masters, whose blindness made her renowned artwork all the more noteworthy, listened to them both, unconvinced, as Ben continued. See? Flamehead's lasagna is more dangerous. I heard that, shouted Johnny Storm from the kitchen. His heroic name of Human Torch was not the reason for the fire alarm, nor the cacophony of cookware, as Sue Richards, long-suffering sister to Johnny and ever-patient wife of Reed, exclaimed, "The breadsticks!" Ignoring the bloom of smoke, Ben returned his attention to Alicia. "So what say you and me grab plates and sneak off to another room away from all this alert?" Romance was cut short by the voice of Herbie, the robotic aide. "Reports of giganto sightings off the New York coast. Damage is widespread." Barging from the kitchen far more visibly than her identity of invisible woman would betray, Sue shouted in disbelief, "Giganto attacking from the sea? That can only mean," Reed sighed, "our old foe Namor once again turns his oceanic ambitions to the surface world." Johnny literally flew from the kitchen, leaving a trail of flame from his torso along with his apron and a fire extinguisher. "Giganto and Namor? Italian can wait. We gotta give them the boot." "Alicia, can you watch the kids?" asked Ben as he scooped up his lady love with effortless ease. "I gotta murder Namor for ruining our date, and then that torch for that fun."
Nice. Very cool. All right.
Okay, so villain deck. So we are doing standard 3. So this will also be kind of fun because standard 3 didn't exist at the time that these were made. So we're going to do Namor 1 and 2. And then we need his The Briny Deep main scheme.
Yep, so there's the brand.
And we'll be using Namor, the Atlantean Wilds, and then the standard 3. And we'll be using the Weapon Master, which comes from the Red Skull. So if we go ahead and pull this to the side over here, we should be able to grab the modulars.
I think everything is in here already.
Okay, is it?
Yeah, I think he has set up these bags to where they have Weapons Masters in there, and Namor and Atlantean Wilds is in there already.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. Awesome, because I'll retract those then.
Designhacker doing the Lord's work.
It's so good. Now, the I assume the Weapons Masters are still the normal art. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, still normal.
Because sometimes a lot of people will do special art. So keep in mind there with standard 1 and expert, you do get custom art for a lot of the content on TTS. But since we're using standard 3, it's just going to be a little bit generic. Okay.
He has, yeah, in case you were wondering, so you can kind of see here. Here is the name. He does have standard Namor art, and yeah, the expert here as well. Sorry, that may have been what you just said. It's just the standard 3. It's subbed out. So, and I'm too afraid to play expert. So.
Okay, so each player's so for the campaign, we're going to record our identities, and we can't switch identities or aspects during campaign unless otherwise noted, which is pretty normal. Although, haha, from me because I'm playing Moon Knight. And then we're going to put the Atlantis environment into play, and then we're going to discard the top 4 cards of the encounter deck and distribute all copies of Piranha Guards discarded this way evenly among players in player order. And if we decide to do some posts, then maybe we can put some like Darla images. Yeah. I'm a piranha. I'm from the Amazon. Okay, very cool. And so we're not going to read the victory yet, but the main thing to know here is there is a deep mechanic and there is a summon mechanic. So when the deck has a card, so it says when the deck that a card with deep belongs to has 15 or fewer remaining cards, the deep ability may, if on a player card, or must, if on an encounter card, also be resolved. Yep. So for those of you who played card games that have like mill effects or deck discard effects, this is one of those mechanics where as the deck gets low, all of a sudden things start getting stronger.
Yep. He's got this handy dandy deep card that after I get rid of the top 4 cards here, I will. There's a way we can split the deck and put it 15 cards from the bottom. Yep. So here we go. It said we're discarding the top. I can't remember. Are we like technically supposed to have our hand yet?
Yeah. So as a part of setup, we will effectively have our hand because we're not supposed to know too much information before we decide on our mulligans.
Oh yeah.
We also have to decide who goes first.
Okay. Well, why don't we do that? Why don't you? Do you want to take first?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna shuffle. So I only have 5 cards. Oh,
yeah, so
I guess I'm not sitting, am I?
Mark Spector is kind of insane. Mark Spector gets 7 cards.
Holy Mark.
Yep.
Oh, hi, Mark. I'm going to just keep this hand because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So I do also have a setup. So the Braille tablet is one of his reader's cards, and it does have permanent setup, so it starts in play. And then setup on reader says place 3 read counters onto Braille tablet. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then summon the 4E card and add it to your hand. So I get to search through my deck. And I think you said summon was part of this scenario as well, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think that just means wherever it is. Doesn't matter where it is, you go find it and then do with it as it tells you. So that is reader setup. You always get to start with 4E in your hand. And then you start with 3 counters on your Braille tablet. And then Mark's got set up as well, right? Oh, I see. That is
Yes,
that's his whole identity thing. Perfect.
Yep.
And are you doing a mulligan?
No.
Okay. So then we will do setup for the campaign. So I also can't remember because I never play the campaigns. Do we do the setup on this after we do the setup on the main scheme?
So usually, yes. But sometimes you just want to make sure that you read the text closely because depending on the text, it may expect that some of these setups have already been done.
Yeah.
But technically, you have to do this one because it is what's going to like list off the contents and stuff like that. So, but we have here count from the bottom of the encounter deck and place the deep reminder card above the 15th card as no game effects and is only indicated when Namor is deep. If the encounter deck is ever shuffled, replace the deep reminder card. So, so we're fine to go ahead and now shuffle up, put deep, and then discard 4.
So I'm gonna cut it. We want 15. Boom.
And then just discard 4.
We're discarding 4.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the Briny
On.
Deep main scheme. While there are 15 or fewer cards remaining in the encounter deck, Namor is deep. And deep abilities on Namor encounter cards must be resolved. When the scheme is completed, the players lose the game. So it's going to start at 4, go up by 2, and it goes up to 24. And once it's 24, we've gone too deep. That's what that means. Too deep.
And what does it say? Namor the king. So we got the Briny Deep. Namor the king of Atlantis is invading the surface. That's what's going on. He's sending his whales.
Yeah.
And then let's look at Namor.
I am Namor the First, King of Atlantis, Lord of the Seven Seas, and Supreme Commander of the Undersea Legions.
Nice.
And so when he's deep, he's going to get 1 scheme and 1 attack. So he's currently at a 1-2, and he's going to go up to a 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a Force Interrupt. When a minion activates, discard the top card of the encounter deck unless he's already deep. So he's going to... We don't want to let those minions stick around for too long.
Yep, if he's not deep, he's going to try and get deep.
Deep, that's right.
And we got Atlantis.
And this has deep. This card gains an additional encounter card. So that's one thing you'll have to be aware of, right? It's like because when it's deep, it's going to dig faster. So kind of interesting. When Namor attacks, give him 1 additional boost card. So it's going to help him get deep. And then hero action, each hero discards 2 cards from hand, and we can discard this card. Atlantis has no friends from the surface. Namor.
Awesome.
So, yes, so we do have a way to get rid of the environment.
Whoa. And then I discard 4, and we were only looking for Piranha Guards, right?
Piranha Guards.
So no Piranha Guards. We got 2 Weapon Masters, Atlantean Skin, and War Shark. So we'll look at those as they come up, if they come back up.
Yep.
And that was it, right? As far as
that goes, yeah.
Okay. Forgot. Oh yeah, we determined you were the first player, and yeah, I'm gonna do my best to stay centered on your.
Yep. So basically what we want to try to do here then is with this deck, it's all about trying to maximize like what I can do with my turn. So maximize specifically my identities. So we'll kind of tinker around with a few things here. So for example, I can do things like discard Desperate Defense to spend 1 on a Ready to Rumble, right? I could do something like, for example, now choose to change my identity. And if I choose to change my identity, then I can change my identity to any identity that I have. And so then, for example, I can change my identity to Jake Lockley. Even though he's an alter ego, it doesn't matter. Now, one of the caveats is that if I change my identity, I can't change back to the previous identity. So Mark Spector is like out for this round, essentially. But then Jake, it says you get to reduce the cost of your justice cards by 1. So now I could do something like, for example, now the question is whether or not I want to play this preparation. But I think for now, let's just go ahead and say I'm not going to play the preparation, so I'll play in heroic intuition, right? Because it only costs 1 now. Also, I've got this fight or foil, which is an event. And again, it costs 0 because I get to reduce the cost of these by 1. And so now this has an action thwart. Change form to Mr. Knight and remove 2 threat from a scheme. So I'll remove 2 threat from from the main scheme. And so Jake Lockley is out, but I get to change to Mr. Knight. Okay. And so let me go ahead and do it this and then this. And so then Mr. Knight says you get to reduce the cost of protection card. So because I've changed form, now I can trigger Perseverance. I gain a tough status. And then I can also go ahead and play my Armored Vest. Right?
For free, yeah.
And, yep. And so now I get to boost that defense. And then I'll just go ahead and activate triggering my thwart. And I'll go ahead and remove 2 off the top.
Very nice.
And that's essentially the whole kind of shtick of this guy. It's just keep changing forms.
Yep. And if I understand correctly, when you changed Alter Ego to Alter Ego, besides card effects, that is your one optional like form change for the round, right?
Right,
Okay.
exactly. And so, and I guess just to spend just a few more seconds on it, basically what makes the deck work, and if you've ever played Spider-Woman, she works the same way. 8 of my identity cards also have an aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 2 identity justice cards and 2 identity protection and so on, and they each have a specific change to. And so it's all about kind of chaining the forms you change into using these cards. But other than that, I only get one per turn as normal to change to any identity that's currently still available. And keep in mind too that if let's say that I had already been on Mr. Knight, I wouldn't be able to choose the Mr. Knight option. He's out. So that's the other thing too, is like I can only use each identity once in a round.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Very cool. Nice. All right.
Over to you.
Over to me. All right. So on Reader's Alter Ego side, he only has 2 recover. He also has a daily rest response, which is after he recovers, I can place read counters onto Braille tablet until there are 3 on it. So that's how, in order to refill this up to 3, I need to flip down and actually recover. So I'm going to start by flipping up, and we'll look at what is the art the same. Oh, wait. What have I done?
Oh, it looks like you got messed up.
All right, hold on. Pause. Let me bring them in.
Yeah, bring him in again.
Wait, what?
Do we have...
No, it's just white. Hold on, I guess I can bring in the one that doesn't have the... Oh, there we go. Now it all just loaded, like on all of them.
Weird. Yeah. That's so weird.
That was
Because I was like checking the chat. I'm like,
oh, wait.
We get a...
I just...
It's okay, so pull that one back. I'm guessing that you probably got an asset that's using a local image.
Weird.
So it's in your TTS cache, but it's not in the cloud.
I see. All right, I'll just keep them over here.
Something completely weird.
Yeah.
Something completely, I don't know, but we got it now.
We got him. All right. I was like, wow, he looks the same on both sides. It's strange.
I was like, that's interesting, Matt, that you chose to have a rec ability on a hero.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't thwart or attack or defend. So this is Reader on his hero side. He's got Forey in his little pouch. So he is a 1/1/1. He's inhuman, and he has his literary manifestation action, which is action. I can need to either exhaust Reader or the Braille tablet, and then I can remove a read counter from Braille tablet, and then I resolve the special on Braille tablet. So I'm just going to do that now to show you. So I'm going to start by exhausting the Braille tablet. So I exhaust it, and I remove a counter, and then it says special, so I'm resolving the special. If there are X read counters here, there are 2 or more now. This lets me play a card from my hand, reducing its cost by 3. So I'm going to play Forey, my doggo, because he costs 3 or less. So I just get to play him for 3. And Fori is a good boy. He's a creature. Support. He has 2 interrupts. So his first interrupt is when I would use one of Reader's basic powers, I can exhaust Fori, and Reader gets +1 to that power for this use. And then he has a second interrupt, which is when Reader takes any amount of damage, you may place 1 of that damage here instead. Then, if there's at least 4 damage here, discard Fori. So Fori Reader is squishy. He only has 8 health, but every time he takes any amount of damage, I could kind of put 1 onto Fori. He takes a little bit of that damage for me. So yeah, Fori is out. Let's do that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you already did some beautiful thwarting, so I think I am going to put out a skilled investigator myself, and then I'm going to just spend 3 cards and play a sonic rifle. I think I might just hit that sonic rifle. So I'm going to exhaust it, remove a counter, and confuse Namor. Very nice. And then, yeah, let's, he doesn't have retaliate or anything, right? He gets an additional boost when he attacks.
Yep.
Which is fine. So, yeah, let's just, I'll exhaust to hit him for 1, but I'm going to use Fori's interrupt to give Reader a +1 to his attack just for this single use. So I will hit him for 2.
Okay,
down
2
to
damage.
22. And that is the end of my turn.
Perfect.
So we'll
Okay.
ready up.
And then so then I'm going to ready up as well. And so then at the end of every player phase, that's when these guys come back.
I see, yep. Into like the available pool.
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
And then most of the identities only have 4. Mark is the exception.
Mark. Oh, no, mate, Mark is good. Oh, yeah, so the rest have 4. I see.
Mm.
Okay, let's get into the villain phase. So, step 1 of the villain phase. The Briny Deep is going to go up by 1 per player. Goes up to 2. And then Namor's going to activate against us. Mr. Knight is a hero, so Namor is going to attack, and he does get an extra boost card here.
Yep. So I'm just going to take it on the tough. So let's go ahead and go boost. So that's 1 boost. Oh, I did too fast, didn't I?
That's right. Maybe just manually pull the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
TTS
boost.
is like, oh, are you recording something? Well, we're going to break.
Yeah. Of course. So he's going to come in for 2 + 2 + 2. And so, but that's just going to hit off my tough.
Very nice. Then he's going to attack me. I can't die, right? I guess I could die. No, I can't die.
Yeah.
Because I got 4.
I can also block as well. I'll blocking for 3.
I don't mind. I mean, what do you... I think I'm okay with taking some damage. I'll probably just flip back down, and he's got it confused. Okay. So yeah, I'll just take it. I'll take it as well. All right. Well, we broke it. So here we go. We've got Imperius Rex as the first one, which is boost. Reveal this card. So Imperius Rex side scheme. It comes in with 2. Hinder 1 per player, so another 2, and it has forced interrupt. When Namor activates, give him 1 additional boost card. Then, unless Namor is deep, discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. So that was the first boost. Second boost is Sinister Strike for 1, so he hits me for 3. We discard this. Do you think it's the deep card?
It is.
Is it a little bit different sized, maybe?
No, the way the mod works is it uses the bottom of the mat to detect the deck, and the deep card is not the same. So we can try maybe. There it is. There it is.
It was just flipped?
It was flipped. Can you try? Can we cut it one more time?
Yeah. I think we want 15 on this side on the right.
Yep.
Oh, no, I did it wrong. Sorry,
so
we do want 15 on the left. Okay.
There we go. Yeah. And then perfect. That was my bad.
Nice.
So now it'll work. That's why it was messing up.
Okay, sweet. Well, we figured it out. We did it. We're geniuses.
We did it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right, then we're going to go into the encounter card stage.
Okay, and so I'll go and get an encounter card.
Oh, you know what? I should have given 1 to Fori. Sorry. So whenever that's Fori's interrupt. When a reader takes any amount of damage, I can place 1 on to Fori instead, and then if he has 4 more damage, he gets discarded. Yeah. He's a good dog. And yeah, we'll just say that. He's a good dog.
He's a good dog. Okay, so we've got War Sharks. War Sharks, finish them. So he's got patrol, so I can't attack Namor while he's in play, right? Or no,
That's
guard. I
the main scheme.
can't thwart the main scheme while the patrol is in effect. Well, they're 15 forward cards in the encounter deck. So basically, if he's deep, he gains quick strike.
Yeah,
We're not.
I think the reason why it doesn't say deep is because this is a modular, so you might not be playing in a scenario with the deep mechanic. But yep, essentially that's just deep. Very nice. And so that we now need to remember that when a minion activates, we have to discard the top card of the encounter deck unless he's already deep. All right, now I've got Concussion Grenade. When revealed, hero, I'm stunned. All right, so let's start with a stun, and then deal 1 damage to your hero. You mean Defori? Boom. Good dog. It's like, please stop, master, please. Yeah, there's a lot of dog harm in this deck, but, 4 is a good boy. All right, I think that's it, right? Over to me?
Over to you.
All right. So, I am stunned. We do have a side scheme, which gives Namor an additional boost, regardless of how he's activating attack or scheming. So I'd like to get rid of that.
Yep. I can thwart for 3 on that.
You can thwart for 3 on that? Okay. Then I will thwart for the other 1 probably. I think I'd like to get Avengers Mansion. So I'm going to start by using the Literary Manifestation action. So I will exhaust the Braille Tablet, discard a read counter, and now, because there are 0 to 1 counters on it, I can play a card from my hand, reducing its cost by half, rounded up. So I'm going to spend Jessica Jones and For Justice for my Avengers Mansion. It only cost me 2 because of that. I will go ahead and use the mansion and draw a card. And I think I play Spider-Woman here because she costs 1 less for each confused enemy in play, and Namor is confused. So yeah, let's spend 2 to play Spider-Woman.
Nice.
And I think I will use Spider-Woman to deal the 1, or to thwart for the 1. Perfect. Yep. And then I will exhaust... what do I want to do here? I think I just get rid of stunned here. And then... I wonder if I do flip down. Because he is confused. Are you planning on staying up?
I'm going to end staying up.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to flip down. And that is it for me.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and tap that side scheme for 3 because of Heroic Intuition.
Very nice.
2, 3. So that is gone. And then can we go ahead and trigger that?
I can't because it is a hero response. But I figured I was going first anyway, so I'd only have 1 card in hand.
You're
Wasn't too
good.
concerned about it. Sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and drop that different folks. So different strokes for different folks. So the different strokes comes later. So it says, after you change form, place a madness counter here. Remove 6 madness counters from different folks, and you stun an enemy. So this is one of my 2 upgrades. The other one is different strokes. I'm pretty sure. And so essentially what these do is they benefit from me changing forms, but this is kind of like that identity crisis, right? It's like I'm kind of driving myself mad by like constantly swapping between these different forms. So it's kind of very cool thematically.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and change from Mr. Knight to go ahead and change to Mr. Moon Knight.
Mr. Moon Knight.
Mr. Moon Knight. And so again, this is kind of fun because anytime I change, I can change to any other identity. So I can go hero to hero, alter ego, doesn't matter. But that is going to go and give me a madness counter and trigger my ready to rumble.
Nice.
After you change form, discard this card and ready your hero. So I will get to ready. Because this is in fact a hero. And so then Moon Knight, this is my aggressive form. And I'm going to go ahead and discard 2 here and go ahead and get Echo into play. And so if you guys don't know, Echo is actually featured in the new Hawkeye. I don't recommend watching it. But she's a really cool character. And so she's got this fun effect where she actually will have the same stats that I have. So that's kind of why a big part of the deck is very much like making use of the aspects to boost my own stats. So she's currently a 1/2. Actually, she's a 2/2. She got 2/2. And then we're going to go bop bop. And so I'm going to put a consequential damage on her to deal 2 damage to the War Shark. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the War Shark for another 2 damage.
Nice. Very nice.
And yeah, that'll be it for me.
Okay. We're going to ready up. Drawing up 5. Very nice. Okay. Villain phase. We're starting with 1 on the main scheme per player. So up to 4. Then he's going to activate against me, and I am in alter ego, so he is confused. We'll get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
And he is activating against you. And you should be ready, right?
I should be ready, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's because it's his stuff.
Yeah.
So I might just go ahead and...
You could have like available, not available or something.
Yeah. I'll just leave these face up, and so we'll just know that means
Available.
that's my available.
Okay, yeah. Good, yeah.
So... Okie dokie. So he's going to be activating against me. So we're going to get 2 boost cards. Yeah, see, now we can see it's working. I am going to go ahead. Oh, gosh, I just changed form. I think I just go ahead and take it. Yeah. So that's going to be 1 and a star with another reveal. So, yep. And so we'll put that away. So that means he's going to be hitting me for 3. That 8.
All right. Encounter cards.
Counter cards.
I've got combat knife. Namor's got a combat knife. So he's got +1 attack and he gains piercing, and we have to hero action spend a mental and a physical to discard it.
Very nice. Okay, and then I will go nowhere is safe. When revealed, place 1 pursuit counter on pursued by the past. Then if it has any counters on it, discard an upgrade or support you control. Ooh. Okay, so I guess I will go ahead and I think I just discard my heroic intuition here.
Okay.
So since we're doing pretty good on the thwarting side of things, I think.
Yeah,
Trying
I
to
think so too.
trying to think, because right now I can do Moxie for free.
Maxie.
And then switch over to Mr. Knight and do the...
Oh yeah,
he already has 2 thwart, and then no, maybe I'll just get rid of the armored vest because I'll be able to swap down for a wreck at some point. So
Okay.
All
right. Well, it is over to you.
Okay. So now that it's over to me. Am I going to be first player here then?
You are, yeah.
Yes. So let's go ahead and do this. I am going to go ahead and I think I'm just going to go ahead and change back to Mr. Knight. So
Knight.
Moon Knight is going to be gone, and you know what I will do after this is I will on one of your turns I will merge all of these into 1 card.
And just do like a state.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
And then I can leave copies on the side to know who I'm not allowed to use.
Nice.
So I'll switch over to Mr. Knight here, and then that's going to trigger Moxie. So I now get +1 to all of my stats.
Nice.
Note that I'm currently a 3 on my heroic intuition for thwart, and then this makes me a 4. So that means that Echo is also a 4.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to go ahead and make use of that to go ahead and get 1, 2, 3, 4 off of that side scheme. Unfortunately, I cannot call you to
flip. Yeah, that's okay.
Yep.
I'm not a very skilled investigator, it turns out.
That's okay. So there we are. And then I'm going to go ahead and make use of this taunt. So the other villain attacks you. Nobody else can defend for you, but I do get to draw 3 cards as a consequence of this. So he is going to go ahead now. And if any time he activates,
I think it's from Atlantis when he attacks.
When he attacks, give him 1 additional boost card.
Yep.
So now you're not in hero form, so you won't be able to discard. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and...
I could always chump Spider-Woman if you'd like.
No. Nobody can defend against it other than me.
Good, you passed the test.
So I'm going to go ahead and just put my block in there. By the way, I did get an extra counter on different folks. So let's go ahead and give him that double boost. And so that will be 1 and 1. So he's coming in for 4. I'm blocking for 2. So I'll just take 2 here.
He does have the +1 on a combat knife too.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take 1 more. And then that will go ahead and allow me to draw 3 cards.
Nice.
Very cool. And that's my understanding, right? Is he attacks you, then you draw 3 cards? Yeah, I think that's how that's supposed to work.
Yep.
So with that, then let's go ahead and discard for Kalu. After Kalu enters play, research the top 5 cards of your deck for an event. So, oop,
If you want to save 2 cards for Atlantis, I would be happy to also do that.
mhm.
It depends on what you draw and how you're feeling.
Nice. So currently I have an aggression on top, so I'll be deal 4 damage. I am totally fine with that. I'm going to go ahead and grab deck and cover. And so, essentially one of my other abilities that allows me to change my form if I were to defeat an enemy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back, shuffle up. So yeah, so this is a Moon Knight card that I just drew. It's a special event. Basically, the aggression dealing damage, and then if I kill something with it, I get to change form.
Nice.
But we'll probably just go ahead and save that for the hero action. And I do have Kalu in play. I might as well go ahead. I think we're just going to use when you defend against attack equals 2. I will, yeah, I'll go ahead and just make use of him for a single fort here.
Yeah. And I can't remember when you defended. Did Moxie give you a +1 defend?
It
For
did.
the
You know, that's a good call. Moxie is a +1 to all of my stats. There's the card right there.
nice.
And I did defend with it. So, yep. Oh, and I got to be careful with my discard in this deck because things will look at the top of my discard.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yep.
That is correct. So I would actually should be at 6 life.
Nice. All right. Over to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to hit the recover, which says after I recover, I get to place read counters on the Braille tablet until there are 3. Then I'm going to hit the old Vendor's Mansion. Ooh. One way or another, eh? Let's flip up. I think I will use the action on Reader to exhaust Braille Tablet and lose a counter to play a card that costs 3 or... Let's see. Play a card reducing its cost by 3. So I'll play a Helicarrier.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use the Helicarrier and a copy of C to play my Jetpack. So this is one of Reader's upgrades. It's a Jetpack. It gives him the aerial trait. Dang, I forgot. I should put some aerial cards in here. There aren't any aerial cards in here. Spoiler. It has a hero interrupt. When Reader attacks, I can exhaust the Jetpack. This attack ignores the guard keyword and gains ranged. And yeah, that's just when he attacks. So it doesn't have to be a basic attack. It's just any attack. And then also a hero action, exhaust Jetpack to ready Reader. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll ready Reader. And then, yeah, let's... Yeah, you want to discard 2 cards each on the hero action on Atlantis?
Yep. So I'll discard.
And we'll discard these 2. Atlantis goes to the discard pile. Nice. I could one way or another here and potentially get rid of that knife if we're feeling dangerous.
I'm getting the feeling that the side schemes are probably all going to be kind of like the ones we've already gotten rid of, which is going to do...
Extra, it's extra boosties, right?
Extra boosties, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I just hold this. Maybe I just hold this for next turn since I'm going first. I feel like doing this as the last thing we do is not great. Yeah, let's just hold it. So I'll thwart for 1. It gives me a chumper. And then he has piercing? Yeah, it doesn't have overkill. And then I will use Reader and exhaust 4 to give him a +1 to... yeah, let's smack him for 2.
2 damage.
And I think I might as well sonic rifle him. Confuse him.
Nice.
I don't see any reason not to, right?
Yep.
All right. And then I'll hold one way or another. And that's it.
Very cool.
Okay. Ready up?
Ready up. And then I'm going to be drawing 3 cards here.
Ooh. It's not bad.
Mm.
Okay, so main scheme's going up by 2.
Mm-hmm.
He is attacking you to begin with.
Yep. And so I am going to go ahead and defend against that attack and using my free gear up. So I am currently defending and I've got +2 defense. So, and then I'll have to I always get confused with how they've done the defense keywords.
Yeah, it's changed
But
like a million times.
yeah, so now I can't remember if I have to exhaust to defend
I think you
to make use of
don't.
this ability, but I think with the hero interrupt defense now, I'm just considered defending by playing this card.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, just by playing this card, you are reducing the damage by 4
Yep.
with the +2.
So, and I'll double check that as we go. But yeah, so that means I am going in for 4, and I have retaliate 2.
Very
So let's go ahead
nice.
and get. He just gets one boost now.
Yep. Still
So
has the
he,
+1 attack though.
yep. So he's coming in for 2, 3, and 4 attack. So I do block all of that, and
Nice.
because I have blocked all of that, I now get to change forms.
And I'm gonna ping him for
So,
the 2 from that retaliate down to 18.
mhm. So I think in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and flip over to Stephen Grant.
Nice. And you get a little counter on different folks, right?
I do.
Nice. Stephen Grant we have not seen.
hmm So this is my new alter ego that he reduces leadership cards by 1.
Nice.
So and
Very cool.
he's my other alter ego.
Nice. All right, and then he's attacking me. I'm going to throw Spider-Woman in front of that. So 3 plus 0 is dead. Goodbye.
Nice.
And then encounter cards.
Good. Here we go. So, when revealed, place 3 threat on the main scheme, on each scheme if he, of course. Oh, sorry, other way. If he is deep, he's not. So
That's that browse to 6. And I've got drawing nearer. So this is a nasty card. Actually, maybe I'll just keep this right here. Okay. All right, so I'll probably need to flip down soonish and get rid of that because that's not a good one. All right, over to me. Boom. So I immediately got to do this. After my turn begins, I discard the top card of my deck. It has 1 resource, so we are going to put 1 counter onto Pursued by the Past. I'm going to Avengers Mansion, draw a card. Do I one way or another here? I don't know if I really need it. Well, let's start with a Helicarrier to play Camouflage. This is another Reader upgrade. It's a tech. It has a Hero Interrupt when Reader makes a basic thwart. Exhaust Camouflage. Reader gets +1 thwart, and this thwart ignores Patrol keyword. And also has a response. After you change to Hero form, remove 1 threat from a side scheme. All right. And then I think I do want to get rid of this drawing near, so I might flip down. Are you flipping down as well?
I haven't decided yet. Because if you confuse them and I thwart everything off, then we may not have a problem being down.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
So
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Take Out the Guards. Player side scheme, which starts at 8. And then I'm going to... I might as well use Reader before I go down. So I've got... Do you want me to do some thwarting? Well, we don't want to get rid of that just yet.
Yeah,
because we don't have any minions. So maybe I'll bring it down to a low value.
Were you gonna one way or another?
I don't know. I guess I could. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's always fun. All right, so I will play one way or another. I got to search the deck for a side scheme. It's oh yeah, there's 2 more. Yep. So let's do that. So the downside of this is we do have to do the shuffling this deck on TTS is kind of annoying, just because the deep. So I can't even cut it at 15. And
yeah. Well, you can also just leave it. Here you go.
Yeah, there we go. Nice. So this comes in with 4. And I get to draw 3 cards. Okay, well, I definitely pitch that. Let's spend a one way or another to play a followed on this Imperius Rex. When I might as well do this too. I'll play Close Encounters on Imperius Rex. Can I do that? Max 1 per scheme, yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to make a basic thwart. So I am a 1. I'm going to exhaust Fori to make him a 2, and I will exhaust Camouflage to make him a 3. So we'll thwart 3
Nice.
off of there.
Nice.
And then I will use the jetpack to ready Reader. And yeah, Ian, you pointed this out. So this +1 thwart is supposed to be for that single use only, not for the rest of the round. So that's how I'm going to play it.
Yep.
So he's back to just a 1/1/1. But I will use that 1 to get rid of Imperius Rex.
Nice.
So that's going to trigger a couple things. I will trigger my, Skilled Investigator and draw a card.
I believe it's yep, you draw. Nice.
Yep.
And it's any one of us can, as I was going to point out before, it doesn't matter who defeats the side scheme.
Yep.
As long as it's defeated.
Yep, so that's defeated, and we're going to trigger both of these followed and close encounter. So followed is deal 4 damage to an enemy.
Has to be him.
Has to be him. And then chance encounters, I get to search my deck and discard pile for an ally and add it to my hand. I might just go back for Spider-Woman since he is confused. And I don't think I mentioned it, but because Fori is a support, there is no hero-specific ally in this deck. So, yeah, let's go ahead and spend 2 for Spider-Woman. Oh, actually, do I have I don't think I have the resources to get rid of Combat Knife anyways. I don't.
Wait, you don't? Isn't
Oh, yeah, Overwatch in my hand.
Because are you wanting to hold a fresh read?
I was going to hold it to get rid of this, but
Yeah, you're right.
I guess what I could do, instead of playing Spider-Woman, I could go ahead and... Oh, no, I have to have... Yeah,
It would be... No, I mean, because like, if we're both down, this doesn't matter. We can always...
That's true. Yeah,
Those are
so
winners.
let's do that. Yeah, I'll do 1, 2 for Spider-Woman. Then I'm going to... I guess I could have played her for even less. I could have just played her for 1 with the Braille tablet. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I don't really know how the interaction of this works. So I'm going to exhaust the Braille tablet, spend a counter. I can play a card from my hand, reducing its cost by half, rounded up. So half of 3 is 1.5, so I reduce it by 2.
Yep.
But I don't know how it works with reduce the cost to play by 1. I think this is meant to say printed cost. So really, she still cost me 1. That makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'm going to flip down, and I'm going to spend Man's Best Friend to discard Drawing Nearer. Boom. Spider-Woman will thwart for 1 off of take out the guards, just get it going. And I think that... I guess I might as well put this on Overwatch on take out the guards first, so I get to take 1 off of there as well, right? Oh, no, but I have to discard it. So, yeah, I'll just leave it on there and use that for a bigger thwart.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Very nice. That's a May, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go and discard a surprise attack for Maria Hill, everyone's favorite. Only costs me 1 right now.
Nice.
So I will go ahead and draw a card.
Oh, yeah, I get to draw a card too, right?
Each player draws a card, so we're all gonna draw a card.
Nice.
Very, very nice. So when your hero makes a basic thwart, gets +2 for that thwart. After the thwart ends, if your hero removed all threat from a thwart. Okay, so that's interesting. Well, that being the case, I could go to Moon Knight here, but what I was hoping to do was, I think I just hold this making an entrance for a different turn. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to swap over to Jake Lockley. Okay. And then that's going to allow me to reduce the cost of justice cards by 1. So I'll go ahead and now play the fight or foil. And so I will change to Moon Knight because I cannot change to Mr. Knight because Mr. Knight is currently expended. And so that will bring this up to 5.
Nice.
And then with Moon Knight in play, I get to deal 2 damage to an enemy. So I'll deal 2 damage to him. And then I will go ahead now and thwart with Maria Hill to go ahead and take 2 off of the main scheme. And then I will go ahead and I think I leave them the way they are, but I will go ahead and thwart 2 from the main scheme again. And I've still not used. Oh no, I have used my choice identity. That's right, because I had to change to Jake.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in that case, I think I just leave everything the way they are, and I'll try to tap Mark on the following turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything else really to do here? I don't think so. I think I just leave everything the way it is.
All right.
Okay, so
So
it's
we're
ready.
ready up. I'm going to keep this card. Draw 3. All right. So main team goes up by 2. He's going to activate against me, but he's confused. So get rid of confused, and he's going to attack you.
Yep. And I'm just gonna block with Kalu.
Kaloo.
So he. So we are at 17 cards. Do we put the deep card back in there? Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's. Yeah.
We're probably gonna hit it in just a second. So he's only gonna get 1 boost right now. Yep. And there it
so
is.
he's currently deep.
Yep. And so he's coming at me for 3 plus the boost, which is gonna be 4, and he will heal 3.
He does get the
And
+1 as well immediately.
yeah, immediately.
So 1,
So
2,
he's, yep.
3, 4, 5.
So Kalu's taking a big hit here.
Yep, and he healed 3 from the boost. Yep.
Yep.
Good job, Kalu. All right, and then we get encounter cards. We'll put this right there next to him as a reminder. One for me, one for you. Mine is another Imperius Rex. So because oh, you know what? Sorry, my bad. I've been doing the hinder 1 per player on each one of these, but that's only when it's deep. So
Oh, yep.
But that's okay. We did fine. So he does get the extra 2 on it this time. And then you've got Dark Designs.
Yeah, place 1 pursuit counter pursued by the past, so it should be up to 3 now. I think it's
3
after you
more?
play, if it's at least 3 more than the number of players. Yep.
Yeah, so 5 is our lucky number.
Yep. It has counters on it, so the villain will scheme. Now we do have this force interrupt. Then unless Namor is deep, discard the top 2 cards. So we actually do have to trigger this now. He hasn't got the choice before, so he will give an additional boost for this scheme.
Yep. He's got at a base of 2 with deep.
Yep, with deep. So he is going to get both of these boosties. So that's going to be 2, 2, and yep. So he'll be at 5 in total.
Up to 9.
Up to 9.
Not too bad.
And over to me.
Over to you.
Very cool. Okay, so I do have everybody back now, which is exciting. I think I assume you're going to be flipping up.
Yep.
I definitely need to get some of my stuff into play here. So we are going to go ahead and discard versatility.
Would you like the mansion?
To get Khonshu into play. I don't need the mansion.
Okay.
I have exactly enough here.
Okay.
So.
Oh, this card looks so cool. Dang.
So, dude, the Khonshu card is great.
It's a condition? With a question mark?
A question mark, yeah. So I'm going to be changing a form, and it really doesn't even matter what form I change to, which is what's awesome. I think I want to be changing down to Mark to be able to get the wreck to heal a little bit, although we are doing pretty good. But hoarding. That's fine. He's at 9.
He's at 9.
So,
yeah, I think we're okay.
Yeah, so let me go ahead, and I can always just wreck next turn. So let's go ahead and thwart for 2 off this scheme, and then we'll just go ahead and Maria Hill the remaining 2 threats.
No,
to go ahead and
my skilled investigator.
Oh, do you want me to save it for you?
How would you feel if you did? Would that be okay?
I'm just gonna take 2 off the.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, let's do that.
That way, I feel like a skilled investigator. I'm the most unskilled investigator, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no clues.
I'm going to go ahead
there's nothing.
Yeah, I'm leaving literally 0 for you.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and tap that Mark Spectre, which will allow me to have a response since I've now changed form. I will draw a card. I'm going to discard the card to play Frenchie. I did change form, so Different Folks is now at 6. And importantly, the Different Folks is a hero action. So just because I have 6 doesn't mean I have to spend it.
That's all right.
Unfortunately, this does mean that you're going to be flipping up. I won't be able to give you the stun.
That's
But
okay.
I will be able to use it to protect
I'll throw
myself.
my dog in front of it.
Classic. Okay, and that is over to you.
Nice.
Let me go ahead and mess with some stuff over
Frenchie
here on
is
the side.
a pretty cool card. All right. Oh my gosh. He's multiplying.
Don't see what I'm doing. Don't look what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
All right. I will start with a mansion. I will go ahead and wreck on reader. He's at max, but I'm going to put the read counters up to 3. I will flip up. I'm going to spend a fresh read card. So this is one of his events. It's a 0-cost event. Action exhaust reader. Place a read counter on a braille tablet and draw 1 card. So this is a way you can get up to 4. I'm not using it for that. I'm just using it for the double resource. So double resource to play my bow staff. This is another reader upgrade. It is a weapon. It is restricted. And it says while the 4E card has 2 or more damage on it, reader gains retaliate 1. So that takes effect right now because 4E does have 2 damage on it. And it also has a hero action attack, exhaust bow staff. Deal 1 damage to an enemy if this attack defeats an enemy ready bow staff. And the cool thing is that I can use the bow staff with where was the +1 attack thing? Oh, no. Am I blind? Oh, right here. I can use that with the jetpack as well to gain to ignore guard and ignore ranged or gain ranged as well, which is nice. All right, so I played bow staff. I'm going to spend 1 to play castle as well. This is a reader support. It has an action. If there are no counters on braille tablet, I can discard the castle and change my form. It also has a hero interrupt. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage or just damage, remove 1 read counter from braille tablet, prevent all of that damage. So yeah, you kind of see that some of these cards want to spend his read counters in other ways. So this is just essentially 3 toughs if I want it to be, but it is at the expense of the resources on braille tablet. Speaking of resources on braille tablet, I'm going to use it. I'll use the literary manifestation action, exhaust it, and spend 1. I can play a card for 3 less. Now, unfortunately, it wouldn't give me the concussive blow ability, but a free beat cop is a free beat cop. So I will play a beat cop. I will use a beat cop to move 1 from a scheme. I'll move 1 from Imperius Rex'd onto beat cop. Then I'm going to use Spider Woman to defeat Imperius Rex'd, which will trigger my skilled investigator. Let me draw a card. Ooh. You know, I'm tempted. I think I'm just going to get rid of this combat knife, though. So I'm going to spend a fresh read, which is a wild resource, and concussive blow. Get rid of that combat knife.
Nice.
And then I will use the jetpack ready reader. Let's make a thwart on the... I might as well do it on the side scheme. So I'm going to thwart on the side scheme. 1 + 1 from 4E. +1 from camouflage. And I'm also forgetting, for camouflage, after you change to hero form, I should have removed 1 from a side scheme. So that should be at 6. And then, yeah, I'll thwart for 3 off of the side scheme. I'll pop Overwatch for that.
Okay, so that's 3 there and 3 from the main.
3 on the main. Yep. And then I'll use the bow staff and attack for 1.
Nice.
Bink. And that is it.
Okay, I did get my whole situation sorted over here. So I have my hero with 5 states,
Oh,
and
nice.
I will just have the
Oh,
versions
nice.
down here to mark.
Yeah, I like that. Very nice.
Okay.
All right, I am readying up. Drawing
up. Now I get to draw 7 now.
4. Okay. All right. 2 on the main scheme. He is going to scheme for you.
Yep. So, and he doesn't get the boost here, right? He just has the 1.
Just, yep, normal. He starts at a 2. He is a 2 because of...
Yep.
Because he's
and
deep.
Then, so he's going to be 2 and 4. Now, I could go ahead and just remove that right now, or we can just wait.
I'm fine with waiting.
Yep.
I mean, it's up to
I
you.
think we're good.
Yeah, this pops at 24, so I think we're chilling. All right. And then he is attacking me. I will block with Spider Woman. He's going at a base of 2. Or sorry, base of 3. +3. Love to see it. Goodbye, Spider Woman. All right, encounter cards.
Nice. Okay. So over to me. Quick strike.
Oh.
Give to the reader player.
So this is reader's obligation. Discard each read counter on Braille tablet, so I'm losing 2. If one or fewer read counters were discarded this way, this card gains surge, and then discard this card. So you lose all your tablets no matter what, but it could also surge. And I've got Wrath of the Sea. When revealed, discarding 1 at a time, discard a total of 2 cards, or 4 cards since he's deep, so 4 cards, from the top of the encounter deck and your hand, divided as you choose. Then your hero takes X indirect damage, where X is equal to the number of boost icons on cards discarded this way. Well, I'm going to do all from the encounter deck. So 1, it's a 0. 2. I can't remember. Is that a boost icon? Is it considered a boost icon? The star?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we're still at
No,
0.
fine.
Still at 0 and 3. That's okay. I'll take 2. I'll take 2 and give the other to 4. All right, so these are gone.
Yeah, we're still getting canceled.
I know. The nice thing is if 4, he doesn't die. He just he's got to go to the vet and then he comes back. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. We don't talk about it. All right. Over to me.
Over to you.
All right. Here we go. So I'm probably going to I'll probably flip down this turn if you don't mind.
You're good.
So I'm going to mansion. I would like to play Sonic Rifle so I can confuse them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Helicarrier, this, and arrows for a Sonic Rifle. I'll go ahead and use a Sonic Rifle, so I'll just put it in at 1 to confuse Namor. I am going to spend 1 for an endurance, give myself 3 hit points. Before I flip down, I want to use him. So let's, I'll just thwart for 1 plus 1 on Fori plus 1 on camouflage. So 3, I'll just do the main scheme. Then I'm going to jetpack to ready. I'll bow staff to smack him for 1, big 1. Boom. I forgot, technically I could use castle. I'm going to use the action on castle. So that if there are no counters on Braille tablet, I can discard castle and change my form. So I'll discard castle and change my form. Then I'll wreck up to 11, my new max. I'll put 3 on the tablet. Then I'm going to flip back up as my flip for the turn. Exhaust the tablet. Spend 1 to play New Attilan for free. And New Attilan is, let's put this down here. New Attilan is a support for reader. It has and also before I forget, I flipped up to hero, so I get to remove 1 from a side scheme because of camouflage. That's the one I'm gonna forget all the time. So alter ego action for New Attilan is I can exhaust New Attilan, heal or remove up to 3 damage divided as you choose between reader and Fori, and then draw a card. Or action, exhaust New Attilan and remove a read counter from Braille tablet, draw 2 cards. I'm not going to do that now because I don't have any cards in hand, but I will hit the Beat Cop and move 1 from the main scheme onto Beat Cop. And that is it for me. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah, so we had a good amount of time to think about how we want to do this. So I think the way that we're going to go ahead and do this is we're going to start off with playing our different strokes. So we got different strokes and for different folks.
Nice.
So basically the way that different folks works is by changing form, and then the way that different strokes works is by playing the aspect cards. And then note that the different strokes also allows me to either ready or change form. So that's actually pretty cool. And so then we are actually going to go ahead now and probably pitch, I'm thinking I pitch Night Nurse here to play Where'd He Go? Which says that I can change to a hero form to confuse the enemy. So I'm going to go ahead and lose Mark Spector here.
He is confused already, by the way, just as a heads up.
Oh, he is confused already. Interesting. Okay, well,
I could hold that, though, if you were planning on doing that. You didn't draw that card or anything. You had it already?
I had it already. But, I mean, I could just I could just go ahead and stun the enemy and save the madness counters.
Yeah. You do have to change to an altar, though, right?
Yeah, I'd have changed for an altar. So then what we do in that case, let's hold on to a night nurse and where'd he go? And let's go ahead. Actually, so we still do the same thing. We still discard night nurse for where'd he go? But we're going to change to an alter ego form. So let's go ahead now and make use of Jake Lockley. So I got to remember to lock this. No, I can't. It's got to be a non-card. But we'll go to state 3 here. No, sorry, state 2. There we go. So I'll change over to Jake Lockley, which will allow me to play Vigilance Training for free.
I'm going to stun him, by the way, right?
Yes, he is stunned. So this will be at counter 1 and counter 2. Also, I should have mentioned that different strokes, it can only get max 1 per aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, by changing to Jake Lockley, I would get a counter on different folks. I played where he goes, so I got a counter on different strokes. I also got to trigger Khonshu, so I'll draw a card. And I will now play Vigilante Training for free, which comes with 2 counters. And that will give me my second counter there. I'll go and use a counter to go ahead and search up an event card of the Justice variety and shuffle that.
Very important forced interrupt as well on there.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely want to make sure we're paying attention to that one. Okay, so then with that, I think now, because note that we have not actually used our own switch yet. I did make one mistake. I do want to note that Mark Spector has the highest rec, so I did mean to rec with him before doing any of this. So I think now we're actually going to flip over to the only Moon Knight.
Nice.
And so let's go ahead and flip over to that state. And so in that state, I'm going to go ahead now and get another Madness counter and go ahead and trigger Lay Down the Law because I have changed form, which will allow me to go ahead and play, and I'll go ahead and discard Versatility. So I've discarded a Science to remove 4 threat off the main.
Nice.
And put that away. And now that I'm in Moon Knight, I'm in Aggression, so I can go ahead and play Deck and Cover. So I can deal 3 damage to an enemy, so I will deal 3 damage. And that is my 3rd aspect type.
Nice.
So different strokes is now maxed out. Now at that point, I mean, it would be awesome to play this last card in my hand. I think I'll just hold it. So let's just go ahead and expend these counters. Actually, I can just flip them over for the 0 here.
Nice.
And I can, no real reason to change. So I might as well just go ahead and ready up and get in for 2.
Nice. Beautiful.
So the only thing I can think is that I might draw, do I have, both gear ups are already in my discard as well as Desperate Defense. So we are going to stay in Aggression here. And that's my turn.
All right. We will ready up. I've got a new encounter card, or an extra encounter card coming my way. All right. So starting by putting 2 in the main scheme. He is activating against me, but he is stunned. And he's activating against you.
Yep. And so then I think we are just going to go ahead and block with Echo. This is the right time to get her in the discard here. So he's just going to get a single boost, I believe. And that is going to be Piranha Guards. But they have 0 boost icons.
Nice.
So that's 3 damage coming in. And so we'll get Echo in the discard.
All right. The encounter. So 1 goes to me. He decks out. So we're going to throw this right here. And then we'll shuffle this. And then we will cut it. We want 15 on the left. Boom. All right.
Yep.
And a counter to you. So my first one is a Sinister Strike. I am in Hero. Place 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past. So up to 4.
Yep, 4.
Then if it has any counters on it, the villain attacks you. All right, so he's going to attack me. I am just going to take it. He's back down to his normal. He's not deep anymore.
Yep.
So he's hit me for a base of 2 plus 1. So 3 damage. I will take all 3 of that. But I do have Retaliate 1 because 4 he has 2 or more damage on him. So I will ping him for 1. You didn't put it on him, right?
I had not.
Okay,
and
cool.
I'm actually just remembering, too, that I didn't ping him for 2 from the gear up. That's okay. That's my bad. I will remember that for the future.
Oh yeah, let's put him down to 5. What's gear up
Okay.
again?
Gives me +2 defense and +2 retaliate.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So that was the one we were talking about, the hero interrupt defense and whether or not I need to.
Oh, I think I put that 2 on him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I did.
Okay.
So I'll put him back up to 7. And then he's got the Hydra sidearm. He gains ranged and a +1 attack, and we have to spend a mental and a physical.
Yep. So then I will flip over, and it is the only Imperius Rex'd. Now, we do know that we are no longer deep, so we do not have to hinder for this one.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, over to you.
And then I will go ahead and take that first player. So I am actually in Moon Knight's form. So everything in my hand is going to have its cost reduced. So this is going to be interesting. I think we go ahead and just take this opportunity to play combat training as much as I would love to play the Hulk.
You could have Helicarrier if you want. You want Helicarrier?
Oh, sure. So what I was going to do, let's see. I guess I don't really need to do a whole bunch here. Yeah, I mean, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Boom.
Okay. So that being the case, then I can go ahead and just discard this to play Hulk now, because the combat training would have been reduced by 1 and reduced by 1, so it costs 0. And so Hulk costs 1, so we got Hulk. So that means that different strokes is going to be at 1 here.
What's the second discount on this one? So this plus Helicarrier for that, and then lay down the law for it. Nice. Dang.
Yes. There we go.
Nice.
Well, we might as well start off with the Hulk. Now, I think, Matt, don't you have a funny story about the Hulk?
Yeah, I think I lost this a game because it'd been a long time since I played Hulk, and I was like, I'll just swing with him. And then, I got the all of the above. And I think the 1 damage to each character killed my hero. So it was a true hulking out.
Yep. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 3 here. So we'll go ahead and hit him down to 3. I do have to discard, anyways, after he attacks. So we will go ahead and discard 1 here. And I got a physical. So we will do 2 damage to an enemy. So it'll take him down to 2. And then I am going to go ahead and switch over to Moon Knight. So let's go ahead, switch over to Mr. Knight, which will allow me to trigger Khonshu, and I will draw a card off of that. And so then I'm going to go ahead and trigger Moxie, which will basically give +1 to all my stats. And I did change forms. I will go ahead and trigger the different folks action. So I get to remove 3 of those counters to stun the enemy.
Beautiful.
And I will go ahead and play Ant-Man. He gets +1 hit point for each PIM counter. When he enters play, I get to... I have to overpay, so we don't want to do that just yet, because I don't have any cost reduction. And then I currently do have +1/+1 thwart, so I will go ahead and thwart for 4 here. Now he's going to accelerate. He's not... I mean, so what? He's going to attack with 1 additional boost against you, which is
I'll probably clear that if you don't. So
okay, then let me go for the 4.
Yeah, if you want to go for the 4.
Let's get that full value. And that is my turn.
All right, I'm going to start with an Avengers Mansion. Boom. And then, so he's confused. I'm looking for mental and physical. I would like to try and get rid of that. He's stunned as well, but I think I'm going to play Nick Fury. So let's use New Attilan. So exhaust New Attilan and remove 1 read counter from Braille Tablet. Draw 2 cards. I'm going to spend a fresh read, which is 2 resources plus a man's best friend plus a concussive blow to play Nick Fury. I will draw 3. I'm going to give you a skilled investigator.
Oh, thank you.
He is confused, so I can play Spider-Woman for 2. But I'd like to play Man's Best Friend. Oh, but I can use Braille Tablet. All right, so I'm going to beat Cop 1 off of Imperius Rex. Put that here. I'll spend 2 for Spider-Woman. She costs 1 less since he is confused. And then I'm going to use the Braille Tablet remove a counter, and then it does say if there's 0 on it, I can play a card, reducing its cost by half. So that means Man's Best Friend will only cost me 1. So Man's Best Friend is an event, action. Oh, well, you know what? I should probably use Reader first. So let's just thwart for, or let's hit him for, okay, I might need to undo this because he's going to go to the next stage. So let's put this all back. Boom. Yep. So let's attack for 2. We'll use, oh, actually, I won't use 4. I'll do an attack of 1. And then I'm going to use the bow staff.
Nice.
And because that defeats an enemy, I will ready the bow staff. And we're bringing Namor to stage 2.
I don't think he's not defeated, though. I don't think.
It doesn't count when you defeat a stage? It doesn't count as defeating an enemy? Because doesn't the retaliate say it hits you back unless you defeat an enemy?
That's correct. Retaliate is that if they're still alive. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how that.
I thought it. I want to say it does count as defeating an enemy when you get them from stage 1 to stage 2.
Okay.
We
yeah,
can
we play it that way, and I'll look it up afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, we can look it up afterwards. I'm only readying for 1 damage, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he get anything here? So we do summon the Neptune's Trident attachment and reveal it. It might be in the discard. Oh wait, there's only 2 cards in the discard. That was the ankle wings. So we're looking for the Trident.
Yeah, we've defeated that stage. That's the phrasing. You've defeated that stage.
That stage.
Mm-hmm. It's the same.
So it does count.
Yeah. It's
okay. Cool. So I do need to go find the deep, and then shuffle, cut it. Oh shit!
And then he's gonna be at 32.
And the Trident makes him gain retaliate 1 or 2 if he's in the deep, and interrupt when he attacks with 3 or more boost cards. We get to discard the Trident, and he gains range for that attack. So he's just got retaliate until we let him attack with 3 boosts. So I see. So you're almost incentivized to leave these in if you want to get rid of retaliate. That's cool. It's terrifying artwork.
Yeah.
You look angry. Okay, so now that I've done that, now I'm going to do the Braille tablet, spend it to reduce the cost of Man's Best Friend by half rounded up, so 1. I will pay 1 resource to play Man's Best Friend. So it says ready Reader and heal 2 damage from him. So we'll do that. Then ready Fori and remove 2 damage from him. Well, he's not readied, or he wasn't exhausted, but that's okay. He'll go down to 1 damage. And then if Fori was not in play, I get to search my deck and discard for him and add it to my hand. And then I'd shuffle. So it just heals Fori a little bit. And then I'm going to... This is that's where I search. Let's put this on... What do you think? Are we going to leave Imperius Rex'd? Or are we okay with just taking the retaliate?
I'm okay with just taking the retaliate.
Let's put this...
It's totally up to you.
Okay, so I'll put chance encounter on Imperius Rex'd. Actually, I'm going to put it here because I don't really need I don't need an ally right now. I'm not going to be able to play him. So then I'm going to...
I guess the only problem is the if we use our allies to attack, the consequential damage plus the retaliate is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's only retaliate 1 right now.
He has to have 3 or more boost cards when he only gets 1 boost card.
What was the Atlantis? So either 2 of these need to be out, or Atlantis in one of those.
Yeah, I wonder if we're fishing. I mean,
I'm gonna have 2 one way or another's coming up soon.
It's true.
I haven't had either of them. I only have 18 cards left, so I could probably get the second one out next round. He's not even attacking this round. And I got Nick to chump. I say we leave it.
Yep.
Let's leave it. So I'll put that there. I'll change the counter on this. And then I'm going to attack him, use Fori to +1 it, and I will also jetpack it. So he's got ranged. So 2 damage. I don't take the retaliate.
I see why you're fine with it now. You've got ranged.
Got ranged. Nick Fury's going to hit him for 2. Take the retaliate. Spider-Woman is just going to thwart for 1 off of this side scheme. I will bow staff him for 1. He'll retaliate, and I'll give it to Fori, so that gives me retaliate. And I think that is it.
Okay.
I wonder if I should flip down, though.
Might as well.
I might as well. It is a little bit of a waste of Nick Fury, but I would get
He can block for me.
He's stunned.
Oh, he's stunned.
Yeah.
He's stunned. Yeah, you might as well stay up.
I might as well stay up. I'm just thinking for my tablet. I'm not going to have any counters, but I'm pretty set up to where I can just flip down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't you? I thought you had the thing that gives you the counters. Did you already use it? Castle.
The castle doesn't give me counters. There's an event that lets me give him 1 counter.
I see.
But I think I am going to flip down if you don't mind. It's okay. Nick gave me 3 cards, and that's cool. Cool with that. And I've got this, so he'll use the confuse and then get the confuse back, and that's fine. All right, readying up. That way I could hit this new Attilan as well.
So I am going to deck out because of that. So.
Oh, I got the one way or another. Nice. Special guest appearance. Let's go.
Yeah. You want a special guest appearance?
Oh yeah, the new puppy. New puppy.
Augustin.
Oh.
Also known as Augie. He is our new puppy.
So cute.
We literally got him just yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday. Yesterday. Today's still Sunday. He's so cute.
He's so cute. Oh.
What? Oh yeah. What?
So cute. How big is? Did they say how big or what breed?
He's a black lab border collie mix. He will probably get up to about 70 pounds.
He'll be a big boy.
We're big dog people, so
yeah, you got to be able to. Yeah, that's my rule. It's like if I can't fully spoon the dog, they're not big enough. You got to be able to fully spoon the dog.
Now we can have a whole spoon train because my other dog's 80 pounds. So
there you go.
He's still in denial. My other dog is still in denial.
Yeah, me too.
About the fact that this dog is staying here.
Like, oh yeah.
I can just tell. He's like, when is this dog going home?
Yeah.
Like, no.
He's like, so we're babysitting, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Yeah, villain phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 on the main. He is attacking you, but he's stunned.
Stunned.
Oh, maybe an encounter card will have him attack again. Then we can use Nick. He is scheming for me, but he's confused. And then yeah, we got three opportunities.
Oh no! Oh, there. Wait.
Almost.
Almost. So that is that's actually not going to do much though, because we have to place a counter on it. But then there are 3 more encounters than the number of players. So we've got to remove all those counters. We've got to do the whole nemesis thing.
Yep.
So my Moon Knight nemesis is Bushman.
Bushman.
If he would be defeated, if there's no Manus counter here, heal all damage from Bushman and put a Manus counter on him instead. He gets +2 attack if there's a Manus counter. So essentially, you got to defeat him. He gets stronger to defeat him again.
Okay.
And then his mano a mano, Bushman is hellbent on defeating Mark Spector. De-escalate the situation quickly. So Moon Knight and Mr. Knight both get -1 attack.
Okay. That's just a base of 3.
Yep.
Nice.
Base 3. So then I'm gonna shuffle these.
Yeah, we got to pull out deep.
Yeah.
No. Oh boy.
Okay, so you want to cut real quick?
Yeah. This is a family show.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and. Yeah.
Now, is he technically? He is technically non-elite, I think, right?
Yeah, it would say elite if he's elite.
Yeah.
So this is discard. Yeah, so that ignores the defeated. It's just a straight up discard. Nice. All right. And what's your second one? There we go. There we go. And mine is place 2 threat on the main scheme or on each scheme if he's deep.
Yep.
Nice. All right, over to me. So I'm going to start with a wreck, which gets me my 3 counters back. And then I'm going to use New Attilan, which is exhaust it, heal, or remove up to 3 damage divided as I choose between Reader and Fori, and then draw a card. I'm just going to use as the draw card. I want to leave. Actually, you know what? I will. I'll bring 40 down to full health, or whatever you want to call it. And then I draw a card. Then I'm going to flip up. I am going to exhaust the jetpack to ready reader. Oh, sorry. Nick Fury should be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Woman is going to take out the guards, which lets me search my deck and discard pile for an ally. I'm going to get Nick.
Yep.
And then I don't have a minion, but you get to discard Bushman, and then we both get to use our skilled investigators. Oops.
Dude, we're so skilled.
We're freaking skilled. And then I'm going to play Nick. I'm not going to do it one way or another here. 1, 2. I guess I should use my Braille. Let's do that. So Nick only costs 1. Boom. Nick, drawing 3. It's crazy. Why don't you go ahead and take the mansion?
Yep.
Then Helicarrier 1, 2 for Jessica. So she's at a 1, 2, 3, 4 thwart, which is very nice. We are going to Sonic Rifle to confuse him. So we want him to attack, but maybe I can get rid of this. So that's a mental and a physical. So yeah, I'll spend Eros and the castle to get rid of that. We are going to... Let's do Staff Flurry. So I will spend this and this to play Staff Flurry. So one of his last events, it's an attack. So it is deal 6 to an enemy, and then remove any number of read counters from Braille tablets. And I can give a character a status card for each read counter removed this way. All right, so we're dealing 6, but I'm going to use Camouflage. Oh, no, actually, it would have been Jetpack, wouldn't it? Yep, all right, we're not going to use Jetpack. So I'm going to deal 6 to Namor.
Mm-hmm.
I take the Retaliate 1, and by me, I mean Fori. I am going to remove... Let's just remove both and give us both Toughs. We want them to attack. So I think we both take Toughs. Oh, yeah. Whoops. And then I'll beat Cop 1 off of the...
you do the main, because I'm going to hit that.
Yep, off of the main scheme. Nick is going to hit him for 2, take the Retaliate. Jessica Jones is going to... maybe she'll just thwart for 4 off the main. Get that down to 0. I will use 4... Oh, wait, but I have a Tough. I didn't think it through. Because the Retaliate. Oh, I guess, yeah, because I think Tough has to come before that damage, before this interrupt. I don't have a choice. So, I did flip to hero form and forgot to remove one from a side team, I think, but I'm just going to pretend I didn't forget. Or, I think that's it. I think I'll just stop there. Because if I attack, I lose my Tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get rid of this.
Yep.
If I get rid of this, do you have something else to do instead, or you're wanting to get rid of that? Because I could get rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, if you do, I'm just going to, I guess, attack more.
Yeah, okay. Then I might as well do it.
Yep.
Because I can use Camouflage, and that's 3.
Yep. There you go.
Now, I guess the question is, if you are also planning on attacking, you will lose your Tough as well. So would you rather me put the Tough onto, like, Hulk or something so he could block?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And that's it. I'm not going to use my bow staff because I don't want to lose my Tough.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it is over to you.
Okie dokie then. So we're going to go ahead and make use of our reduction here to play some Armored Vest, which is also going to get my different strokes up 1 counter. And then I am going to play Ant-Man with an overpayment of 1 and 2. So he will have 2 counters on him. I guess I might as well go ahead and do 3 here. Let's see. I'm gonna get 4, 5. I think this works out. And that will put my counter up to 2 here. Ooh, actually, wait. I'm at 3 counters right now. So if I go to alter ego, I'm gonna have 4. I can't go back to Mr. Knight. So, I would end
Mr.
up at
Knight.
Moon. I would end up at Moon at the end of all this. So let's just go ahead and keep Desert Defense, and I'll keep Ant-Man in play. Nah, it's fine. You put him at 3. We're good. And so he'll be at 3 now coming in. And we'll just go ahead and leave him like he is because I don't want him to take Retaliate. We'll leave Hulk as he is. I will go ahead and flip to... I will intentionally change my form to Jake Lockley. So that means that Mr. Knight and Jake Lockley are both out for this round. That will give me a form change, and that will allow me to trigger Khonshu. So I'll draw a card. And then I will go to use my leadership, last counter my leadership training. So we'll go ahead and get that other fight or foil shuffled into the deck.
Nice.
And this goes away. And then I will go ahead and play this for free, fight or foil, and I will change to Moon Knight. So now that one is out, and this will get a counter, and that will get a counter. And because I've changed to Moon Knight, I will deal 2 damage, and so that's going to trigger Retaliate. Now I currently have +1 attack, so I am going to go ahead and trigger that attack. So I'm coming in for 3 attack. So I'll bring him down to 14. I will take a Retaliate. And because I have this, I will go ahead now and he is... that's interesting. So because currently I could just use Hulk to block for you, and I could switch over to Mark if I wanted to.
I do have Nick
And
Fury out as well, but you're more than welcome to. I mean, I'm not worried if we end up wasting Nick.
Spend the 3.
Oh, you could just keep the tough as well.
Ready the Moon Knight. And go down by 1.
Very nice. All right. We're readying up?
Ready up.
Nice. Okay. So this goes up by 3. He is attacking me. So he gets 1. Actually, let me just do it normal. 1 boost plus another boost from each Imperius Rex. So 2 more boosts, which means when Namor attacks with 3 or more boost cards, we discard the Trident, and he gains ranged on this attack. So we are going to block with Nick. First encounter card. Oh, yeah. It's a 3, a 0, and another Imperius Rex.
He's not deep.
Imperius Rex.
So Nick just lost the other eye.
Yep. Goodbye,
and then
Nick.
he will be attacking me, and so he's actually going to get 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah.
And we are just going to take it on the top.
I was like, oh.
So that's going to be 2 boosties, 0 boosties. That is
oh,
the
my
other
gosh.
Imperius
Jessica
Rex.
Jones loves it. She's like, yes, please.
Dude, she's about to go ham. Okay.
All right, encounter cards. 1 for me.
Encounter card. I think this is going to be the last round.
Dark design, so 1. Oops. And then because there is 1, he's going to scheme. But he's confused. Bless.
Okay. There you go. This is yours.
So I do need to discard all the read counters on the tablet. There are 0. So because I discarded 1 or fewer, I discard this. It gains surge, and I believe that because it gets given to me, I take the surge, right?
Correct.
Then we discard that. So I got Wrath of the Sea. When revealed, discarding 1 card at a time. Discard a total of 2 cards, and I take X indirect damage, where X is equal to the number of boost icons on cards discarded this way. I'm gonna lose my tough unless I'll just lose the tough probably, or I might give it to so we'll do 1. So 3 total. Yeah, let's just give it all to me and I'll lose the tough.
Yep.
All right. over to you. You bringing us home?
Yeah, I might just be able to end this on my own here.
Take the mansion. Take the helicarrier.
Okay,
Take
here
it
we go.
all.
We're taking it all. Okay, so, well, if I've got helicarrier, so let's go ahead and kind of set this up real quick. We are first and foremost just going to go ahead and use Ant-Man to go ahead and knock off one of these Imperius Rexes.
Nice.
And so that's going to give each of us our skilled investigator triggers.
Nice.
And then I'm going to go ahead and pitch nothing actually for Clobber. Clobber is now totally free. Deal 3 damage to an enemy, and if it's the first card I've played this round, return it to my hand. So he'll take 3, I'll take 1.
Wait, I don't think he doesn't even have retaliate anymore.
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah, that's right. And then we are going to let Hulk do the Hulk thing. So he'll take 1 consequential. He'll deal 3 damage. And we will discard a card, and it is going to be a physical, so it'll deal 2 damage.
Nice.
And then, because I like to do things in an obfuscated way, we are going to go ahead and move over to... yeah, you know what? We'll just we'll go ahead and switch over to Mr. Knight, and because we changed forms, I will go ahead and trigger Perseverance and Surprise Attack.
Nice.
And I will go ahead and pitch a physical clobber. And so we are going to go ahead and deal, take a tough, and deal 4 damage.
Boom. Goodbye, Namor.
So, and then he'll get stunned, and I'll ready, and we'll do all the things.
Extra dead. All
We'll
right.
knock off every Imperius Rex, and I'm going to call it, I'll call it an infinite number of hero actions in from you.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about the scenario after. Let's go ahead and do the campaign victory. That way, if anyone wants to peace out before we chat, they can.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we are going to add the Namor ally to the campaign pool. We will add the Namor hero pack by Odysseus to the campaign pool. If desired, a player may switch their hero with Namor for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, so here's the Namor hero. I'm guessing we probably won't, or I don't plan on it, but that is something you can do. And this is another custom hero. Odysseus was just someone in part of that server who made a Namor hero that works in the same way that this scenario works. So all of his cards revolve around the deep mechanic.
I may do that because that might be kind of fun.
Yeah, if you want to show it off, that would be super cool. So it's got a precon and everything, and I will say the only thing is that it might be a pain in the butt with the deep, depending on how much you're shuffling in your deck. But it is very cool, and that hero art looks very good.
But I can because it's my deck, so I can keep track of.
Yeah.
I don't put like a.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, if you want to do that, and then we've got the Namor ally as well. That, as far as I know, once it's added to the campaign pool, it just means we can add this to our deck if we want.
Yep.
So yeah.
Very cool. And then
yeah,
there's some rules clarification, and then scenario. So wait, we do get to read.
I think maybe we read that before.
That is part of scenario 2. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think there's any flavor text after beating him. But yeah, that is it. So that's scenario 1 of the Fantastic Four campaign by Designhacker. We took down Namor, and we will be moving on to scenario 2 in the next video. But yeah, I think before we go, the only other things I wanted to say were I wanted to pull out the last card in the reader deck just so I can, that way next time I don't have to slow it down. It's a 2-cost event called C. It is a superpower. It is a thwart hero action. Remove 3 threat from a scheme, and then remove X threat from a scheme where X is equal to the number of read counters on Braille. So pretty standard 2 for 3, but it could be 2 for 6, and that 3 and 3 can be split. And that's it. That's every card in Reader's deck, I believe. Are there any cards that we did not see from Moon Knight?
No, I think we got to them all because he has. We didn't talk about all of his identity specific. I mean, we showed off like the where he'd go. So we did see
that one. We saw the yellow one. We saw Justice. We saw the protection.
Yeah.
I don't know if we saw. We saw Tekken.
I think I only discarded this one. I think this is his worst identity card because it has to defeat an enemy.
Yeah, it's a defeat.
And then of course, a lot of people like to go ahead. This is not a great card, but this is a normal aspect card. But a lot of people to throw it in because it's one of the few cards that actually has Moon Knight in
On
the
it.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty fun. So like you just sort of naturally throw it in because, because it's Moon Knight.
Yeah.
But all his other identity cards are normal identity cards.
Mm-hmm.
But we never got to actually play with the big identity card that he has, which is versatility. So essentially, his core is that he's got, two of the where to go, two of the deck and cover. So he's got like two of each of those aspects. And then he's got the versatility, which then relies on those aspects. And so you get to basically look at your discard pile and then based on the top of the discard pile, do one of these things. And so it's very thematic where you can deal more damage, remove 3 threat, confuse enemy, and stun enemy.
Very cool.
And so now I didn't pilot it as well as I could have. I will say that Moon Knight is very, very fun. Basically, the whole gist with Moon Knight is getting set up and then making sure that you can keep tapping Mark Spector. Because, when we started off this game, it was like, okay, I'm going to draw 7 cards, everybody. It's like, whoa, hold
Yeah.
on a second. Like, nobody draws 7 cards at the start of the game. But then you realize that you want to spend a lot of time as Mr. Knight and Moon Knight, who only have a hand size of 4. And if you haven't played a lot of heroes in Marvel Champs, just know that hand size 4 is like crippling.
Mm-hmm.
Like it hurts. Psylocke is like the only one that really pulls it off well. And so that's the trick is basically you got to keep getting yourself back to that Mark Spector, so you keep getting those 7 cards. I didn't do that very well.
Khonshu is nice too, though, because this effectively makes him a 5-hand.
Yes,
which is nice.
Yeah. And
Nice
I just
little
happened to get that a
singers.
little bit later in my first
Mm-hmm.
run through the deck, which is unfortunate. But when you can do that well, then cards like versatility feel a lot better, right? Because there's no way for me to reduce the cost of my own identity cards, like my own versatility or like Echo. So if you have a 4-card hand, that's your entire hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of the trick is like bouncing between the different forms to play your different identities, and then being sure you can get back to Mark Spector at the end of your turn, so you can get those 7 cards. But overall, the changing forms, the being able to play things like Moxie, being able to play things like Perseverance, Surprise Attack, it's very fun. I love the like constantly flopping between forms and the like making yourself kind of go mad and getting cool effects out of it. It's very fun.
Yeah, for sure. And then as far as Namor goes, I think Namor's a very cool first villain. Part of me, he's definitely easy. I think he's on the easier side. I also think we got a very strange pull. Like, there's a decent amount of minions, and we had 1.
Yep.
I think we had 1 minion. And there's a good amount from this Atlantean wilds. Which, they're not hard minions. There's a couple big boys in there, though. I think, here we go. Giganto.
Oh. Yep.
9 health. Minion on the first scenario can be tough if that comes out at the wrong time. Oh,
yep.
Whoops. That should have been out. But yeah, I mean, I really like the Imperius Rex. Like, they're not too bad, and there's a card that incentivizes you to leave them out, which is really nice. But certainly feels like the first villain of a box, for sure. But the deep mechanic's very cool.
So one thing that's worth mentioning, because I didn't think about this before we went into it, but I also didn't know how Namor's cards would play. There are in Marvel Champs many different heroes or many different villains that like focus on a particular type of card.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're ally, they're like enemy heavy, or they're they're whatever event heavy or whatever you call it. I can't remember what those things are specifically called when they're from the villain. Treachery heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So Namor's got some really cool villain cards, right? These little villain minion cards, and we didn't get to see very much of it. But we were playing on Standard 3.
Mm-hmm.
Standard 3 is a kind of a fun new way to spice up the game. But one of the things they did as a balancing mechanic with Standard 3 is there's not as much surge.
Mm-hmm.
Where in Standard 1 and Standard 2 and in Expert mode, there's a lot more surge.
Yeah.
So whereas we did pull numerous, cards from Standard 3 to get those counters, each of those cards, all they did was just activate the villain.
Yep.
So, so for those of you who might be playing like a Thor, or might be playing somebody who likes having the minions in play, or if you want, maybe an experience with the decks that's like more similar to how it was when it was made, because Standard 3 didn't exist when it was made. That Standard 1 or Standard 2 could be a really good pick because this was kind of designed with Surge in mind. So
Yeah.
just something to think about.
Yeah. And I think if you ever play this and you want to make them harder, well, not harder. Weapons Master isn't that bad. He's definitely susceptible to stun and confuse lock.
Mm-hmm.
Which that I would prefer that. I'm okay with steady. I don't like stalwart. And this is like we're playing on standard. We're playing on standard with built decks, so it felt like an appropriate difficulty for a first boss, but certainly leans on the easier side. So, if you like your villains hard, I don't know if Namor is it, but I had a good time. I think deep is a really fun mechanic. But yeah. Any other thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, just overall, I think, like I said, deep is a really, really awesome mechanic. I actually really enjoyed playing against Namor. I would have loved to see his minions, because, like I said, I never played Namor, but I saw all those minions coming through boost cards, and I was like, man, those really cool. And like we obviously missed the Piranha guards, but I really liked the Trident. I thought the Trident was really cool.
Yeah.
The way that he like basically you get multiple boosts for him to basically just throw it at you, right? I thought that was very, very neat. And then this was another one that
we
you
didn't
pulled
see
that one
this.
out.
I think he's got two of them.
Yes, yeah, they got boosted out every single time.
So I like this, yeah, because you can. This is another way to interact with the Trident, right? You can just give him a boost, but you do have to take an encounter card as well, or you could just leave it. And it's an acceleration. It's not that bad till he becomes deep, and then you're like, uh-oh, and an acceleration, and I can't remember all these. The boost icon.
Yeah, I do wonder if maybe these attachments, these identity specific attachments, should all have the star
reveal
when boosted.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, or that could just be like maybe in an expert mode. Which, speaking of, I know we said we were going to play on standard, but what if we did the thing where some campaign games do? I know it's kind of against the nature of Marvel Champions. Well, I guess I don't know, but like if we win a scenario, we go up to expert on the next one. And then,
you're saying, yeah.
And then if we go to scenario 2 on expert and we lose, then we go down and play it on standard, and so on. And that way, if we do win on expert, which might be a little more tailored to what these decks are, or who knows? Because I think this campaign is going to ramp up in difficulty as well.
Yeah.
But maybe we could think about doing that.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. So I would just say that one of the things we've discussed before with expert that we've looked at is, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, that the only thing that's really ever been bad about expert is the attrition, the like life attrition.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah,
it's just annoying.
I think we just always reset our health.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I don't like that. I normally don't just I normally don't play campaigns at all in Marvel Champions. I don't think they're great, but this one was good. It's been a year since I've played it, but I remember it being so good. And some of these 5 villains are some of my favorite Marvel Champions villains, official or not. And so I think this one is I don't want to say vanilla because I think it's got a fun mechanic, but it's vanilla as far as like it's very easy to play, easy to navigate, which is exactly what I want out of my first villain in a box, So I think it fits that bill perfectly. And then, some of the villains as we go on are just very, very cool. So, I think it's
last thing I'll say, if anybody's interested in this kind of content, what typically happens with Marvel Champs Homebrew is that these homebrew creators will make mods for TTS where you load the mod and it will have a table of all of their content. So, and Designhacker still maintains his mod. So look up Designhacker, find his mod. It will have the Guy Fawkes mask,
Mm-hmm.
And all you do is you just load like a game of the mod, and it will have all of his content in it. And you can just right click and save object, whatever you want to keep,
Yep.
basically. So then when you load a table like this one, like Hitches, you can just pull it in from your objects and pull it out, and you can start playing with that. So, and there's lots of creators that do the same thing. So if you guys want to check out your own homebrew like Marvel Champs content, that's how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, all right. If you made it this far, we appreciate you watching, and if you have any advice or requests as far as I'm trying to still figure out what the best camera angle is. Like obviously when I'm playing my turn, I need to be on my stuff. But I'm thinking when you're playing your turn, I kept going back and forth between being zoomed in on your playmat or just being zoomed out on the whole table so they could see board state. And then I would just alt on your cards, which I think is probably the better way. I just got to remember to do it. I always feel like I will naturally move over to your playmat, but I think instead I want to zoom out.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if anyone has a preference, let me know. And yeah, next time we will be fighting. You want to just say who we're fighting next time?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So we are going to be fighting the Mole Man.
Mole Man.
So he's got a moloid problem, or maybe we'll have the moloid problem.
Dun,
You have
dun,
you have to find out.
You'll have to find out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that's it. So we will probably do the next one of these in the next couple of weeks. We don't have really a set schedule. We're probably going to bounce back and forth between this and our Dorfomantic Sakura campaign. So over the next couple of months, we'll get to finishing this campaign as well. But we appreciate you watching. I'm Matt.
I'm Ian.
And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.